It was a raw, cold night in November when art student Elias received the keys to his new studio apartment. The building was old, almost Gothic, with windows that creaked and stairs that groaned under the weight of every step. For him, it was perfect. He needed peace, and he loved things that carried a sense of history. In the corner of the living room stood an old painting that didn't belong to him. A woman in a dark, wine-red dress, her gaze turned slightly away from the viewer. No signature, no frame, just a yellowed canvas. He decided to leave it. It gave the place character. The first night he woke to a sound, not loud but distinct, a low, sighing voice. At first he thought it was the neighbors, but when he got up and walked into the living room, the sound became clearer, coming from the painting. His heart pounded, but as an art student, curiosity outweighed fear. "What do you want?" he whispered, half mocking himself. The woman in the painting had turned her head. Not much, just a few degrees, but enough that her eyes now rested directly on him. Elias trembled. He knew what he had seen, but he couldn't look away. The voice came again, soft as silk, but icy cold. "Let me out." He inhaled sharply and grabbed a paintbrush from the table, almost instinctively. The painting, it felt like a task, as if she was asking him to paint her free. His fingers shook as he dipped the brush into oil and began to stroke along the edges of the canvas. As he painted, the image flickered, as though the colors were alive. The wine-red dress rippled, and the woman stepped forward. A second later, she was standing in the room. Flesh became flesh, fabric rustled like real cloth. She was dazzlingly beautiful, but her eyes were dark wells without bottom. Elias stumbled backward, but she smiled. "At last," she said, "free." He opened his mouth to respond, but she raised a finger and pressed it to his lips. The world tilted. He felt himself being pulled in, dragged through layers of paint, into the canvas itself. He screamed, but the sound was swallowed by oil and linen. When silence returned, the woman stood smiling in the room, alive and free. On the wall still hung the painting, but now it was Elias staring out, frozen in the same wine-red hues, trapped within the frame. And there he remained, until the next tenant.